the secrets to success that sensitives have when they understand the true definition of intuition. Logical people really don't get our superpower as sensitive people. Our superpower is intuition and following our true heart. But people listen to that and they think that might mean, oh, I'm wandering the grocery store and I'm gonna feel good today by buying potato chips and stocking my cupboards with them and eating them on the couch. Or they might think that means that, oh, I'm gonna go to the bar tonight and pick up the first good looking person that I can find and not expect to see them again the next morning. And that's not intuition. That is following your emotions. We all have a little bit of that. There's all that tendency we have inside to gamble or want to win the lottery and hope that this is the one time we're going to do the one lucky thing and we never have to work a day in our lives. But most of us understand, especially sensitive people, that this is not true. And logical people will solve this by being super disciplined and following their logic all the time. And logic is fabulous for organizing information. It's fabulous for planning and saying, roughly, I want to accomplish X, Y, and Z on this day. And roughly, this is the strategy I'll employ if somebody says something upsetting or belittling on a date, etc. But with sensitive people, there's something we understand in terms of intuition. Our intuition will guide us to do difficult things. And that's what we prioritize over everything else. That's what intellectual people don't understand. They're usually too busy following their intellect, doing what makes sense. And when they're in the process of doing what makes sense, they will not even conceive of some of the ideas that we have as sensitive, intuitive people. So we know to do the difficult stuff. And that's our success secret when we're really good at following our intuition and we understand what sensitivity really means and why it's a superpower. It does not mean that we just are naive people who get manipulated by other people in life who are trying to take advantage of us. And even if we do get taken advantage of, it's not always the worst thing. I have studied in many mystical texts that it's okay to play the fool at times and let people take advantage of you because it's better than being the manipulator. So if you get tricked once in a while, the best approach that I have learned from studying spiritual texts is to laugh it off. It's going to happen once in a while. There are always games that intellectual people are playing in order to rip other people off. And once in a while, we might get caught in one. And if it happens, we have to forgive ourselves and laugh and understand that we are stronger and more resilient. And we have that superpower that people who are seeking a pleasure-driven life and they're using their intellect to find that pleasure are never going to understand. We're going to be the successful people who lean into doing the difficult thing rather than running away from it. That means when we follow our intuition, we get that hit to go to the gym and we go right away. We don't wait until we've watched TV and eaten our dinner to do it because we know we won't do it. It means that we're going to drink that water that we're guided to drink because we know our intuition is going to work better when we're hydrated. It means that when we go on dates, even if somebody appears really attractive, we're going to take things slow and we're going to set our boundaries and say, hey, I don't move that quickly if they want to move fast. It means that we are going to prioritize our health over following some authority figure that we feel indebted to, whether that's an employer or a family member or whoever that person is that we feel has control over our lives. We're going to take good care of ourselves first before we get caught up in people pleasing or trying to serve somebody else. And so doing the difficult thing means if you have a book to write, you have to spend a little bit of time each day writing that book. Doing the difficult thing means being on social media, creating videos, even if it's outside your comfort zone and you're not totally happy to be on camera. It means taking on jobs and tasks that force you to grow as a person, taking that workout class that's really hard and not your best skill set, not your comfort zone, because you know that's how you're going to achieve the most results. It means that when you don't find a solution, you realize that you have no choice but to find a solution. That's what I've realized when I've had a problem and I feel like I can't find a solution, then that means that I must find a solution. Or replace it with something else that's a higher priority. Sometimes that's okay too, and we evolve. But we must do our difficult work first as intuitives. It's something that people who are living a pleasure-seeking life are never going to understand about us, that we take that time to water our disciplines, to make sure we're on track with our diet and we're on track with treating people well and trying to be a really good influence on the planet. We're not going to forget about that and just waste away our lives by manipulating other people to get simple wins in relationships. We're not the player type. We're not the politician who's going to screw with parliament and stop the other party from getting into power. No offense. But yeah, we're that kind of person who we actually genuinely try to do the thing that's good for society. And I hate to say right and wrong, because then again, that gets people really defensive. But we try to think of the collective and the whole, and we do what's going to improve society, what's going to help other people, rather than what's in it for our own personal gain. You might feel overwhelmed with this and think, well, I can't finish a book in a day, or I can't lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. And no one is telling you to be perfect. Perfection is not what we're going for when we're intuitives. We're going for authentic lives. So that means we take a little bit of action in the direction where we want to go each and every single day. So as long as we're spending 5 or 10 minutes a day on the thing that we care about, at least you've gotten in that 5 or 10 minutes. Like, I don't always film every single day for social media because it can be a lot to film on a given day and I may have other priorities that day, but I always make sure I'm doing posts every single day. As long as you're doing something, then you're moving and you're advancing towards your dream. But if you stop doing the tasks that you need to do to achieve your dream, then you're never going to actually have that dream. It will just be a dream rather than a reality. And most dreams require you to give something. It requires some kind of sacrifice of your time, sacrifice of your energy. But these things also make you happy in life. Giving to others brings you that fulfillment, brings you that connection that allows you to have a healthy relationship later. Often we get really stuck in our relationships because we're hoping to receive before we give. And of course, we don't want to be ripped off or tricked or manipulated by people who are just expecting us to give and they're going to receive everything. But there has to be a healthy give and take. There has to be some giving, some receiving, and you don't want to be stuck in one position or the other. You want to have it flowing in both directions. The bottom line is whatever is harder for you, whether it's giving or receiving, lean in the direction of doing the thing that's difficult for you.